Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back for another weekend edition where we go over things that happened during the week, right? And without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says, recently a lot of speculation has ensued regarding the existence of a partnership between Ripple and existing incumbent Swift, thus leading to a lot of hype among the XRP community. This is mainly due to the news of Ripple's involvement in the upcoming Sibos conference in Sydney, focused on solving for cross-border payments. The fallout from this partnership could potentially be one of the biggest things to happen in Ripple, as it partners with those it is aiming to replace. Moreover, they will also have access to the 11,000 clients that Swift boasts of its news if the partnership is true. The spark that set the tender on fire of this rumor was that Santander was partnering with Swift for their new Global Payments Initiative program, leading many to believe that this bank could use third-party liquidity providers to settle the cross-border transactions. Santander is also a member of RippleNet, utilizing the X-Current product to reportedly handle 50% of their transactions. I'm going to give you exactly what I think is going on, and please bear with me. The market as of really late, as in the last almost a year, 9 months at this point, I want to say, has been very shaky. And I think that everyone, including people who are attached to the Ripple / XRP name, brand, coin project, like I said, this encompasses all projects. It's not just the XRP people. I am part of that group as well, if you have not noticed. A lot of people have become very interested in the idea that every single type of news that we're going to have from something, anything that's mentioned about any coin, is going to cause the project and the price of the coin and the token to completely skyrocket. What we have news about is, as far as the Ripple XRP Swift partnership thing going on, Swift has they throw an event called Sibos, S-I-B-O-S. They throw it every single year. Last year, 3 years ago, the Ripple team was invited to Sibos, wherever you kind of want to say it. They were invited to it. Last year, they were uninvited, and then what ended up happening was that the Ripple team ended up making Swell, and then when Swell was a relative success, they decided to now have Swell be a yearly thing. But on top of this as well, at some point, I guess Swift realized that maybe Ripple was competition. This is all, once again, speculation. Everyone is just throwing these things around, and they think, or rather, here's what people think right now. People are saying that Swift re-inviting the Ripple team to go to their yearly event is an indication that they have partnered with them, or the other side of the coin is that they are afraid of them and that they're trying to have them there so that they see what they're making or what they have to announce so that they can try and create something that also offshoots it. The entire Swift Ripple XRP speculation thing has been going on for an enormous amount of time. And I keep trying to tell people, regardless if people are going to listen or not, people normally don't listen. When you have this much hype around something, it usually leads to a price collapse, or people end up getting way too far ahead of themselves and think that something is going to happen major, awesome, cool, exciting at that very moment. A lot of people aren't taking into account that we are still in a bear market. Any price increases, like, we're not going to go from where we are in XRP's price today to around $25 in a week and a half. Bitcoin isn't going to go from 6,000 to 80,000, in 9 days. Everything kind of takes time. There's been, in my opinion, such an enormous amount of hype and speculation around this entire thing. At the event, people are expecting Ripple to announce that they have partnered with Swift. Don't get your hopes up. Typically when these things happen, there's so many NDAs, those are non-disclosure agreements, that are floating around that we just will probably not know about for quite some time. It does seem interesting that Swift has decided to invite the people from Ripple to their event. I'm not exactly sure what was going to happen. Swift is also apparently trying to have a global payments initiative program because they realize that they're losing rapidly when it comes to being able to keep up with other cryptocurrencies. And we've had a lot of banks who have also signed on to this. The interesting quote unquote part of this all is that if you dig around, there are a lot of other crypto YouTubers who are like specific for XRP, and they have found information that Swift is like naming their new products very similar to the things that are based from Ripple. So I think there's like a Swift Net or something like that, which is kind of similar to Ripple Net. And like there's all these different things that Swift has been announcing. I mean, something spectacular could happen, but please, as always, don't FOMO into the market. This is such. I realize that everyone wants prices to go back up. I really get it. But so many people constantly hype up these things, and then when prices don't go up, people become heavily discouraged. This has happened for every single coin across the board. Everything that's been announced for Bitcoin, the price ends up going down. Everything that's been announced for Ethereum, we have news that a week or so ago that the Ethereum team is talking about that we could potentially maybe have something in November for a hard fork that could lead us to Constantinople, which then could lead us to Casper and Plasma. And everyone gets really hyped, and then the prices go down, and then I start seeing a lot of people get angry and jittery, and I don't know. The point of this all is there's an enormous amount of speculation around this entire thing. Please make sure to look at it from like step back and look at it for what it actually is, or what we don't even know that it's actually going to be. So many people, and I can't blame an enormous amount of other crypto YouTubers. There are a lot of people who make sure that they're pay attention to what you watch. I'll put it that way without naming anyone. A lot of people are hyping up everything, and it's not just XRP related. This is for every single coin. Look at the videos that you watch on a daily basis, and you'll realize if you scroll through their last like 30 videos, everything has just been hype. Even as prices have continued to go down, they're doing that because they're trying to draw you in to make you believe that something is going to happen when they don't actually have the answer. Sorry for being so brutally honest, especially for the first news story, but it really has to stop. Like I don't understand what's happening. Everyone's becoming so desperate to try and hype up the crypto. What's dangerous is that all of this hype is just going to lead to another type of bubble. Like if the crypto markets have to crash and start from zero again, then that's exactly what has to happen. If you really believe in cryptocurrencies and in XRP and in Bitcoin and in Ethereum, you won't care how low the prices go because you know that they're going to have a bright future at some point. So many other people who are making these freaking crazy like hype videos, you're causing other people to get into the market, which is then causing them to FOMO into the market, to dump money into the market, which is going to cause prices eventually to crash back down when there's no support for the actual prices going up. And then we're going to have another situation. There are already tons of people who are talking about, analysts on TV and stuff like that Bitcoin's volume is so low that they wouldn't be surprised if the price actually fell down to around 3 to 4 million. Once again, did not mean to spend so much time on this, but understand that a lot of this, about 90% of crypto right now is speculation unless we have actual news from a company or a group of people who are creating a cryptocurrency product and or token or coin, whatever it might be, unless we have proof that they have written on a piece of paper that they have a partnership with so-and-so. Don't hype it up. Don't let yourself fall into hype, because all that's going to end up happening is you'll put money into the market. The market's going to drop by 15%, and then you are out 15% of the money that you could have had if you had just waited for the hype bubble to kind of implode. Right, let's move on from this. Google was in the news as well during this week. What ended up happening was Google, first of all, Google had banned cryptocurrency ads and cryptocurrency this for quite a while ago. But 2 weeks ago, something like that, they reintroduced crypto ads on their platform. Everybody was like, this is great. This is wonderful. I think also Facebook announced that they were going to reinstate them or have already reinstated them. And it was going to be only companies and institutions and projects and cryptocurrency exchanges that were legal or had like the paperwork and so. And everyone was like, oh, this would be great for Coinbase. This would be great for Gemini. So on top of this, Google created an ad for something. It was like a little comedy skit about someone being like scammed or something like that. And when it was happening, at one point someone mentioned, I have to do something with cryptocurrencies, and then someone reacted, cryptocurrency, that money's not real. And the entire cryptocurrency space completely lost their minds. If you look at the rest of the ad, someone actually says, no, all money is not real. It's just an idea of what we believe money to be. People are very upset at this. I don't know why. What I've noticed a lot of times is, and I'm pretty sure you have seen this also happen as well, or you know people that do this, people tend to read a headline and then they go onto Twitter or they go somewhere else and they get really upset and they start telling other people exactly what they think is wrong with the world or what they think shouldn't happen without actually listening to the entire thing. The point of it is that something was happening in the ad and they declare that no money is real. Money is only an idea that we all give it. Like the value that we give something is the idea that we pretty much give to it. We think something has value because we point at it and go, that thing has value. Google did not create an ad that said cryptocurrency isn't real or that cryptocurrency is useless. There's so much falsified information going around. It's so easy. I'll say this forever. Do your own research. It's not difficult to click on a video. Just watch the whole, I think it's like a minute and a half long or something like that. Just watch or read a bit further. So many people, I think a lot of people have gotten to the point in crypto where they should, in my opinion, maybe just step away for like a month or two. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but I mean it honestly. So many people are very angry and so upset. If anyone says anything negative against anything that they may have money in, people are completely losing their minds. And it's bad for the cryptocurrency space, but it's also bad for you. If you are waking up panicking every single day, I was watching something a couple days ago where people were talking about, they first thing they do when they wake up is they open their phone and they see the cryptocurrency prices have gone down and they have a panic attack for the rest of the day as they're checking their phone 15 other times. That's not healthy. You should maybe step away for quite a bit, get some air. And I don't mean that even jokingly. The fact that there was like not even like a Twitter storm, the fact that people were like genuinely upset about something that they had not watched and didn't understand what they were even looking at because they didn't even look at it, is a major problem. I've noticed, like I've said, a lot of people have become very angry. I've noticed it in the comment sections as well. People getting upset with me for things that I'm not even doing. People writing in the comment section that I said something. Other people don't watch my entire videos and they assume that I actually said something negative about another coin project or something so-and-so, or they misconstrue my words or something that I'm reading off of the screen that I let you know that I'm reading someone else's words because it is not my words. It is their opinion about something that's happening in the cryptocurrency space. And yeah, sorry that I'm being a bit more truthful than usual in this video, but you've all noticed it as well. Like everyone is kind of on the edge in the cryptocurrency space. Everyone is kind of coming forward talking about this is going to happen. This is why we had the news a couple of days ago where people were talking about how much crypto was about to explode, and it made everyone so euphoric in this very weird way. And then when you read forward and realize what they were talking about or where they were getting their information from, it has no real base. There's no actual basis behind it. But that's enough for Google and their ad that said that cryptocurrency isn't real. That also mentioned that all money isn't real. So let's move on from this as well. Next up. Okay, so this one is, there was something that happened a couple of days ago, actually. Walmart announced that they were going to be working with IBM. Great, got it. And at some point, someone started sending an email from a press@walmartprojects.com telling people that they had created a Walmart coin. And it was a bit of like, it was a hush hush thing. Don't tell a lot of people. We're going to start our own cryptocurrency to be used in the store. A token called WAL, W-A-L. A lot of people fell for it. Apparently it was on like major news outlets. Everyone was really talking about it. Turns out it's not even real. People were duped once again because we've seen, and it's a couple of months ago, I can't remember exactly what it was. Remember, someone was sending something on Twitter. I think they had posted it 5, 6, 7 different times from different accounts that didn't even have followers on it, and people completely lost their minds because they thought this information was true. Lo and behold, it wasn't true. So if you heard anything about a Walmart coin, I think that Walmart is probably going to be one of the last people to jump onto the cryptocurrency bandwagon should the other companies and institutions actually start accepting cryptocurrencies. I think one would be foolish for them to even introduce a Walmart coin simply because it would be just stuck within Walmart. I feel like just allowing fiat and or Bitcoin would make a lot more sense. That's my own personal opinion. on top of this as well, I don't have the actual tab open. There was something that happened. There's a company called Alibaba. For those who do not know, it's like one of the largest, if not the largest, company like in the entire world right now. And there's a cryptocurrency group, people, whatever you want to call them. They created something called Alibaba Coin, and then they started telling other people that they were affiliated with Alibaba and that this coin was going to be used on Alibaba. And then Alibaba came forward talking about, no, this actually isn't our coin. We have no affiliation with them. I think Alibaba also tried to take out a lawsuit or something against them. Apparently, they weren't able to do that because the coin is decentralized and so and so and so, and they didn't make it and blah, 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 blah. So there is now a coin called Alibaba Coin floating around out there. I even saw a couple of crypto websites talking about the amazing use cases for Alibaba Coin and how it's going to be adopted and how it's going to be this. And when you read further, they have no affiliation with Alibaba. I am shocked at this point that someone hasn't created like a Facebook coin, like an Insta coin. All these, they may even exist. We have like 40,000 coins out there right now. Don't believe the hype. Like stay far, far away from it. Walmart as a gigantic conglomerate has no need at this moment to accept cryptocurrencies, nonetheless even create a Walmart coin. People are it's just absolutely out of control what's happening right now. And these are the moments where we have stuff like this. I love that one of the tags is crime. When we have moments like this is why the government starts stepping forward, because I'm sure you've all heard the phrase like one bad egg ruins it for everybody. It's just, there's always one person who goes a step too far, and then the government has to come in and it's like, we were doing fine completely before all of this. You know, I still believe if we didn't have 2,000 coins, and if there hadn't been like a huge amount of blockchain hype last year, let's say if we had around 100, 150 coins that were actually legitimate, I don't think the government would have stepped in at any point, and I think we would have a flourishing market. But everybody is up for a cash grab, so that's what it is. So I'll read a bit through this. Christopher Crypto Dad Giancarlo, the chairman of the Commodities and Future Trading Commission, or the CFTC, recently appeared in an interview to speak about the efforts the regulator has been taking regarding the cryptocurrency market. He also spoke about the futures products, how that helped launch, along with the general problems in the market. The chair spoke about his regulatory approach to cryptocurrencies, emphasizing that it was a two-handed one. The two prongs of Giancarlo's regulatory strategy were enforcement efforts and innovation. He said, we take a two-handed approach. On one hand, very strong enforcement efforts. There are a lot of scammers, a lot of fraudsters in this marketplace, and we're covering the beat for them, and where we find them, we take them out. He also mentioned, they want to be as firm as possible on the cryptocurrency space. They want to make sure that the evildoers know that they are definitely being watched and followed. He said, on the other hand, when it comes to innovation, we do take a first do no harm approach. We want to see innovation develop in the United States. That's very important. To that end, it was under our watch that the very two first Bitcoin future trading products have emerged. And I thought it was interesting that he said this in particular, because I told you months ago, I said something is happening right now around the world where all the cryptocurrency exchanges were leaving the United States. Crypto projects were talking about that they had been subpoenaed, and they were like, well, we'll just go back to Hong Kong, or we'll just go back to Europe. And it's happening very rapidly. The last couple of, not even many weeks, 2 weeks, I told you guys this months ago. Now what's happening is that the CFTC and the SEC are starting to announce that they're definitely trying to do a do no harm approach to cryptocurrencies, because they want the industry to completely flourish. When you listen to podcasts, I won't repeat all the podcasts. I think I made 2 videos on what podcasts that I normally listen to, and you listen to the people who they tend to, especially I think like Unconfirmed is another one, or like it's also Unchained. I think that's the other one. They talk to people from around the world and other people typically within the U.S. And the general sentiment is that everyone has left the U.S. except for like very few companies who have like deep roots like Coinbase and Gemini, who can at this point really like pick up and kind of leave. And the U.S. sees that the money is leaving. The U.S. senators and the U.S. lawmakers now get that there's actually money to be made in this, and they're trying desperately to try and get everyone back onto their shores. So this is why and I can only assume within the next 14, 15, 16 days, I'm going to assume we're going to have at least 3 more stories similar to something like this, where someone from the CFTC or the SEC or what's the other one? There's another letter combination, something like that, where they're going to be talking about that they want a very light approach to crypto regulation because they want it to be able to flourish, which I think in no uncertain terms, excuse my French, is BS. They took too long. They realized that they've taken too long. We've also had other countries during this entire last week, let's say even 10 days, who've been coming forward talking about that we're going to have crypto regulation in those countries by November. Lo and behold, the largest or one of the largest cryptocurrency spaces in the entire world, or rather countries, still we don't have any regulation from them. And I still predict that if we do not have anything from the United States by let's say December 31st, we're going to see a massive shift in 2019 where everyone is going to kind of not wait anymore for what they're actually doing. But let's hope on the other side of all of this that we do, as they're coming forward now talking about that they definitely want to do no harm to crypto and innovation and blockchain, that maybe they'll get it together. And hopefully even by the time that Bakkt launches sometime in November, which is not too far away at this point, that things kind of end up picking up once again, because everything is resting on their shoulders. But I always say, you can only be fearful for so long, or you can only wait on someone for so long before the rest of the market ends up picking up its bags and kind of end up moving on. But yeah, that also happened this week. So with all of this have come, crypto is a very shaky, unstable, no one knows what's going on, what's happening, where are my things kind of place right now. The amount of people, so the general sentiment around Bitcoin is around 30%. No, I want to say like 45%. Extremely bearish. You've heard the news that I had earlier this week where China controls the mining power for Bitcoin, and people are talking about Bitcoin's going down to 2,000 or 3,000. On the other side of this, we still have people who are relatively optimistic that the SEC could shine its glorious light on us any day now and tell us that an ETF has been approved. The idea is everything else that's happened this year has not moved the market. If anything, it's moved the market down. Even the getting news that the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ and the German Stock Exchange and the Swiss Stock Exchange will be getting into cryptocurrency and making their own cryptocurrency exchanges made the market go down. People believe that the last hope is the Bitcoin ETF. At this point, I think the market needs like an actual miracle in order to actually move. The market either needs like an actual miracle, or Bitcoin has to slam down to around $2,000. And the Bitcoin price has to get so low that everyone has to panic and FOMO into the market at the exact same time in order to bring the price back up. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but nothing has moved the market this year. It's all very odd. We had news yesterday as well that an analytics firm found out, though, rather they said that they believed that the Bitcoin whales, or the people who hold the most amount of Bitcoin in the entire world, are actually not harming the market, that they're actually stabilizing the market. I don't know if I believe that 100%. People still believe that by the end of this year, something is going to happen and Bitcoin is going to rise by at least $4,000. I don't know what could bring about that. Okay, so interesting on this entire note of Bitcoin hitting 10,000 by the end of the year. There's a video going around, and I don't remember on what YouTube channel at all. It's something like what experts think about Bitcoin, or what so-and-so what experts are saying about Bitcoin, or like the crypto, something along those lines with those words. If you do like the time frame, I would check like the last like week or maybe month or something like that. But I want to say it definitely came out a couple of days ago. There was a guy in the stock exchange inside of the New York Stock Exchange in the video. He was talking about so one guy was talking about how bearish he was on Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin is definitely going to go down. I don't see it going any higher. I'm guessing we're going to hit around 2,000. And the other guy was like, I think once Bakkt actually launches, it's going to be absolutely insane. And he was naming a whole bunch of companies who were apparently partnered, quote unquote, with Bakkt. And one of the things that he also mentioned, they kind of slipped, and I don't think he meant to say it. He also said, he was like, yeah, we're going to have such companies as maybe like Microsoft and Starbucks accepting Bitcoin. We're going to have McDonald's. And he kept on going. And I was like, it stopped me for a second. And I was like, we didn't hear about McDonald's being part of the entire Bakkt initiative, even though the entire point of Bakkt is, okay, this is where it gets kind of weird. The entire point of Backed is to get institutions and companies and some of the largest names in the scene, the place, the world, to accept cryptocurrencies. I guess it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility that we would have McDonald's accepting Bitcoin. Can you imagine if by summer 2019, if we actually have McDonald's, Starbucks, Microsoft, Apple, and all these other corporations actually accepting Bitcoin, or even just announcing that they're going to maybe one day accept Bitcoin in the future? Can you imagine what that would do to the price? Maybe this is where all these numbers are kind of coming from. I never even thought of, like, I understood the idea of Backed, or what Backed is going to be used for, or what the entire point of Backed is, and blah, 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 blah. But we've only had Microsoft and Starbucks in that same exact sentence, which is the fact that the market hasn't moved, that Bitcoin isn't above 8,000 at the prospect of Microsoft and Starbucks. There's like 7 on every block accepting cryptocurrencies is just bonkers in my mind. I wish it was like November 31st. Like, I really want to see, is there November 31st? I feel like that's not even a thing. I'm going to say November 25th as like a safe day. I feel like I just went into, anyway, see exactly what's going to happen, because I can see Bitcoin definitely going up, and I don't think the market needs the ETF. Like, I think the ETF is just something that people are hanging on to try and give themselves like some type of a like a cookie down the road. Like, yeah, like it'll definitely be good once I get that cookie. I think if we do, that would be major. Once again, all speculation, but definitely if you can, look up Backed, BAKKT, somewhere on Google. You'll find more information about it. No real list on which companies are going to actually accept Bitcoin, but I would assume if the New York Stock Exchange is trying to create something for industry players to be able to accept cryptocurrencies, as there's more than just like 2 companies listed on the stock exchange, I think we could possibly see like a lot of major names, possibly, allegedly, speculation, announcing that they're going to be a part of Backed, and which would then mean that they're then able to accept Bitcoin as a payment method. That would be, I think I just came up with that like all on my own. I mean, it took me a while to get there, but I finally got there. That'd be quite interesting. Okay, let's move on. So eToro announced earlier this week, or rather a couple of days ago, that they were going to be slashing fees on their platform. They said that they're doing it to increase awareness of the potential of crypto and blockchain. If you have ever heard of a company before, the major thing that they're trying to do is just get more money. I understand that they're trying to increase awareness, but I think they mean increase awareness of their platform and for more people to use crypto on their platform, not knocking them down because of that. But a lot of other places have also started announcing that they're trying to lower their fees. This is also coming off the back of Binance announcing a couple of days ago that they were, what did Binance say they were doing? They said they were donating all of their listing fees to charity. So I think everyone is trying to kind of have their own little thing that they can try and get more people to go to their platforms. Also, on top of this as well, a lot of this is, I don't want to say desperation, but it's like mini desperation. Coinbase, someone did their numbers or something like that a week or two ago, and I think that Coinbase has lost like 75% of their market share because of all the other crypto exchanges that are opening and all the other ones who have announced that they're going to be opening between the end of this year and also the beginning of 2019. So I think everyone is trying to find a way to remain relevant in the space. I hear some, I guess, okay things about eToro. I've never used them myself. Probably never going to use them, to be 1,000% honest, simply because I am already on other platforms and I don't think it's personally wise to spread myself across like 15 other different cryptocurrency exchanges. But let's see if it actually ends up working for them. There are a lot of players in the game right now who are announcing things that they have like this, that they're trying to get launched out. Coinbase, I don't have that. I should have had the tab. Coinbase announced a couple days ago as well that they're actually like stopping one of their things that was meant for like adoption and to get more people onto their platform because it completely failed. Everyone is making all these things that they're trying to get more people to use their platforms. I think everyone who's going to be using cryptocurrencies is already here. Like, you're listening to this video right now. Everyone who's into crypto is already into it, and we're only going to see major we're only going to see new people getting into the space when prices actually rise. They're like the FOMO gang. Like whenever prices start, like when Bitcoin hits over 10,000, prices are going to go completely insane again, because everyone who got out of the market, everyone who sold long time ago is going to try their hardest to get back into the market as best they can to be able to make some type of gains. And I mean, it just kind of is what it is at this point. No one expected the market to really be down for this long. I remember hearing people in like April talking about the market was going to, like, Bitcoin was going to be 20,000 by summer. Maybe they mean next summer. But anyway, let's move on from this. On top of this as well, an independent study by Autonomous Research found that ICO's activity globally has dropped over 90% this year. Despite the high of about $3 billion in funds raised by tokens at the beginning of this year, September investments were less than $300 million. That's still a lot, according to the firm. The paper highlighted the fact that the decrease is part of a downward trend. They said last month saw about $300 million in ICO funds raised, with the month before that revised a bit over $400 million, a far cry from the $2.4 billion in January of this year. If we include EOS and other chunky private token raises, the highs go to over $3 billion, suggesting that monthly ICO activity is down around 90%. I think this is good and not that bad. No part of me thinks that this is awful in any way. I think there needed to be a bit of a squeeze as far as who was making ICOs. If you check like upcoming ICOs, like if you Google upcoming ICOs, there are websites and they have like 800 new ICOs that are announcing that they're launching. It is my personal opinion that we don't need as many coins as we have right now. A lot of the ICOs that are tried to launch like in November, they've completely disappeared. I told you all once again to please do your own research. Make sure that what you're getting into is legit. I had a lot of friends at the beginning of this year telling me that they had found a crazy good ICO, and when the prices go back in February, things are going to be great again, and so and so and so. And I looked at the website for those ICOs, and the website pretty much stated, we're faster than Bitcoin, we're better than Ethereum, people use us more than Ripple, and we're so and so and so, and we're going to do this, and our blockchain is a braided blockchain, and this is going to be able to do this. And I asked my friends, I was like, did you put money into this? And they said, yeah, and lo and behold, the ICO's just not there anymore. We needed this squeeze to happen. We needed a time where the market could relax itself a lot. I mean, it's been months now. But if we had prices the same as we did before, or we had even like an increases in price of around 5% from December where we were, like as far as if prices continue to head going up 5% at least every single month, the market would be so destructively oversaturated with people just trying to get into it to make money. And like I said, I don't think this is a bad thing at all. I think when the market does eventually pick back up, we're definitely going to see a new flood of people creating ICOs. At least this time, we hopefully as a community should all be a bit wiser and not invest in ICOs that sound like something that's not actually going to actually happen. Pay attention to ICOs that, in my opinion, are backed by people who are like backing Ripple or Bitcoin or Ethereum or EOS or Litecoin. That seems to be the way to kind of go. That's just how I'm going to put it. But ICOs are also expected to kind of flounder as we hit 2019, as security token offerings are expected to all but take their place because of regulations. Ethereum Classic is in the news. Recently, Elizabeth Kuka, the program director at ETC Labs, spoke about the incubator program that they intended to launch for startups. She also touched upon the topic regarding the future growth and presented her thoughts on the Ethereum Classic blockchain. The director believes that the Ethereum Classic space is very competitive with good ideas and startups that have immense potential. Elizabeth stated that the ETC Lab pilot program was launched on the 1st of October 2018. The pilot program was launched for 6 startups. The company's goal is to put the incubator model to work and get feedback for the 6 startups before the program goes live. Elizabeth also revealed that ETC's incubator program will go live in the first quarter of 2019. She said there's been a lot of interest and inquiries about the program. We have received around 120 applications so far. So Ethereum Classic is not ever really in the news. Maybe like twice a month we'll hear the words Ethereum Classic together. A lot of people still believe in the project. I am neither here nor there when it comes to the Ethereum Classic project, because we don't hear about it enough for me to think that something is going to happen with the actual project. But on the other side of all of this, there are a lot of people who are extremely dedicated to the Ethereum Classic project. And I wouldn't be shocked if at some point in the future, they end up becoming larger than they are, if that kind of makes any sense. I think there's a lot of focus on the original Ethereum, and I want to see if Ethereum Classic is able to muster up the same amount of partnerships as the other Ethereum, and also if they become a major place for ICOs, potentially STOs, and also like dApps and stuff being built on top of them, as well as like a smart contract platform. Like I said, we don't hear a lot about them. They're obviously still active, and I need to maybe look a bit more into like their like crypto politics as far as like scaling and what they believe can be done and what they plan on doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the project is going to go away, but I think the only option for them would be to create or continue to try and push themselves as an ICO, STO, smart contract, and like website platform, because I don't see, in my personal opinion, I don't see Ethereum Classic being like a payment method. Like I could see XRP, I could see Bitcoin, I could even see like Litecoin also being a payment method inside of stores and stuff like that. But I feel like the entire Ethereum brand, the entire EOS brand, the entire Tron brand is more like things built on top of their platforms, and then you use the token for that, if that kind of makes any sense. I mean, like a lot of people are really into Ethereum Classic. I can't remember what their all-time high was. I think it was like $50 or $60 or something like that. When the token first came out, it was $1. So I think there's a bit of movement that's still possible, but we need to actually hear and see that the program is actually doing something relatively often. Last up, without digging too deep into this, some of the tax authorities in Israel have announced that they are thinking of not using, a first in, first out, FIFO method, which would then allow them to, or rather cryptocurrency enterprises would have their taxes cut by 50%. I told you guys before many other times, any country that comes out telling other crypto projects that they're going to not only cut taxes or have zero taxes is, you have to find the right country, you're going to get a lot of attention. And for what it's worth, like if you type in like Israel Bitcoin also on YouTube as well, you'll definitely see like there's a lot of activity happening in Israel, in the Middle East, in Asia. It's interesting to see the places that you wouldn't normally expect to take over an entire industry have completely like engulfed it. Like normally you would expect, for what it's worth, like the US and maybe even like London, like taking over finance. The rest of the world is completely tearing it apart right now, and I hope that they only continue doing so. But yeah, this was also in the news. There was also some other country who, oh gosh, what was it? It was some Eastern European country who came forward and said that they're thinking of, they were cutting taxes for I think 5 years, but now I think they're thinking of cutting taxes to zero for I think like 15 years for the cryptocurrency industry. Something absolutely insane about like that. Anyway, that is definitely going to do it for this video, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Thank you once again for those who have lasted this long in the video. People keep announcing in the comment section, as though I don't know, as if I'm not sitting here making this video, that my weekend videos are far too long. I know that they're far too long. I like to have a weekend, and therefore I make everything into one video so that you don't have to click around to 12 other videos. You get all the information at once, and then we can all go on about our day. We can go outside and get some fresh air. I don't know why there's a huge uptick in people telling me that my weekend videos are too long. I make the videos. I know that they're long. Sorry to disappoint. I don't really know what to tell you. There are people who do want the news, and these videos are for them. Thank you once again. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you.